Anyone, Mark, we're going to go a second round.
Well, let's shift gears since we've now, and we could talk about healthcare until the moon comes up, but economic development.
Yes.
I've read a little bit about some of your views on what we can do to improve the economy of New Hampshire. Can you speak to those?
Yes. First of all, New Hampshire does not have a true statewide economic development plan. One that looks at the assets of our state, the regions of our state, and decides where to put time and talent in terms of the state employees involved with economic development to promote areas of the state and to really make a targeted effort to develop, whether it's a tourism business in a particular sector of the state or manufacturing. I think manufacturing should be the priority that we give for building economic or creating an economically robust environment. Manufacturing generates more economic activity than really any other sector when you look at the effect, the multiplier effect of manufacturing. We have some opportunities, I think, in New Hampshire to bring back manufacturing, biomedical manufacturing, and other high-end manufacturing. But we need to tell our state story. I don't think you should be subsidizing the businesses that come here. You know, other states will offer these, tax breaks and tax deductions. I think the best proposition is for the businessmen and women to come to New Hampshire on the merits because they think it's the best place to do business and to raise families and to live. So that's part of the economic development approach I think we need to take, is a comprehensive look at what the assets are in our state and where the opportunities are for attracting businesses. We need to be smart about it too, look for businesses that are on the move and be proactive in inviting them. And international trade is something that's still very strong in New Hampshire, and we need to be continuing to work with Canada, our largest trade partner, and other countries around the world, and to lift New Hampshire up in terms of the profile or the radar screen of other places that we have businesses going. We absolutely need to reevaluate our business tax structure. We are 46th in the country in terms of the business tax burden we impose on businesses. We have a BET that doesn't really work too well with the BPT. We need the BET to make sure we get everybody paying, but it's not acceptable to have a business that's not running a profit pay a BET tax. That's right. And that's what we have. And we've got and then we've got a regulatory environment that's overregulated. I hate to say this, but you probably know it. New Hampshire is overregulated when it comes to business regulations. We need to pare those back. The second thing I would do, other than after bringing suit against the federal government on Obamacare, is to put a 90-day moratorium on new rules and regulations. And then to ask our departments that are promulgating these rules and regulations to conduct an economic impact analysis. Quantify for us in a meaningful way and get the business community involved with this. What is the cost of business or to families or communities in case of municipalities for complying with these new rules and regs? And building codes change every other year. You get these new, and no one's grandfathered anymore. And now you've got to all of a sudden retrofit your building to if you're an assisted living facility or if you're a restaurant. I mean, the things that we do to ourselves and to our business is not helpful in the regulatory area. And I want to be a governor that's known for reducing the number of regulations, not increasing them. Let's get the old regulations off the books. Let's make sure that the regulations work in conjunction with each other. And let's not have the fire marshal fighting with the Department of Health and Human Services over, which code, who determines which codes. Let's figure out who's the department that's supposed to be responsible. And then make sure that we have one-stop shopping when it comes to, starting a business. You should only have to call one number, go to one place. Amy Sanborn's been promoting that, some of the other state senators, and I'm sure probably Senator Forrester is involved with this too. Streamlining our governmental function so that you go one place, one time to comply with everything and have a case manager help you get through it all. Just one person. We need a culture of service in state government. A service culture where when you call up, people say, "How can I help you?" Not your penalty is coming tomorrow. And unfortunately, I don't mean to disparage state employees or anything, but there's been a culture over the years where everybody's on a gotcha mission. They call you, they inspect your premises, and then they want to fine you. How about saying, "Did you know, by the way, that you don't have enough or enough handrails on your stairs or whatever, or they're too high, too low? Is that an issue for you? Work with us, work with the business people, And if they balk, then there's a due process. But let's not go into a place and ambush our businesses and then fine them without an opportunity to cure, without trying to be helpful. I'd like to declare that the era of the king of the dump is over in New Hampshire. And if you don't know what I mean by the king of the dump, this is my father saying. He says, I remember when I was a kid, he said that to me. He talked about the king of the dump, and I won't mention any names, but it's the person who runs the dump, who tells you how, where, and when to throw your trash. And if he doesn't like the way you do it, he makes you pay for it, okay? Either by delaying. I mean, the kind of attitude where you're there to help them has to come to an end. Our state employees can and would, I think, be much more ambassadors for New Hampshire given the chance and given a change in culture and attitude, working together with one another, with the people, as opposed to being punitive or undesirable. You know, we should be a service sector. Public service is what is about service, isn't it? And that's important. So finally, education. The workforce needs to know, employers in our state need to know the workforce is ready to move into the workplace without a lot of heavy lifting in terms of remediation. So we need to make sure that our students, and we owe this to them, know how to read and write at proficiency level when they graduate. If I were king for the day, sorry. If I were for governor, and with the help of legislative leaders, I'd like to have our state tie our student diplomas with performance exam. You know, Massachusetts has done this, New York has done this through a Regents exam. Let's make sure that when the students get the diploma, there's verification that they have achieved the kind of proficiency we expect in core subjects. So when they leave their high school with that diploma, they can actually enter the workforce with the core skills that an employer would expect. And let's align our higher education programs with the needs of our employers, which is why I've developed a Learn to Earn program. Working with our employers, we can decide, and small and large employers, decide what kind of skill set our employers need. If BAE needs a particular kind of engineer with this particular kind of skill set, why doesn't BAE work with community college or higher education to help develop that program so that they know 2, 3, 5 years out, they'll have a stream of employees educated in New Hampshire who are ready to enter the workplace, being mentored by them over the course of a couple of years, so they're ready to start on day one in their workplace. And that will assure that we don't have a flight of talent from New Hampshire too if we work more closely with our employers and higher education leaders. Not easy, but it's important that we start looking comprehensively at New Hampshire from an economic development perspective. And that's sort of the way I would approach this.
GrokTV.